Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be playing a highly requested MMORPG called Blade & Soul, which is set for release sometime in 2016 in the West. I'm currently playing this game on the Russian servers with an English patch, and I've had a lot of really good things about this game, so I'm really intrigued to check it out and see if it's a game worth playing. So we're going to jump in and create a new character. So there's 4 races: the Jinn, male and female; the Gon, male and female. These people look like giants. The Lin. These guys look fucking retarded. What are those ears? Why? Why do they exist? And the Yun. This race can only be females. That doesn't really make much sense. There's 6 classes: the Assassin, the Blade Master, the Kung Fu Master, the Destroyer, the Summoner, and the Force Master. I'm going to be a male Jinn Blade Master. Okay, let's check out the customization. So we can select the face type, skin tone, hairdo, body type, facial hair, of course. Gotta have that sweet, sweet facial hair. Facial customization, so you can fine-tune all these things on your character by the looks of it. Fucking hell. You can make it so he just closes his eyes all the time. Or you can be one creepy motherfucker like that. The customization's pretty cool. Now that's creepy. Fuck it, that'll do. The lazy peon. Boom. Let's go. Ah, this looks like my character. He's drowning, I think. Save me, senpai. Is this gonna be like a flashback to how I got in the ocean? Guessing so. Game's running well, 60 FPS, hype. So similar to Terra, it seems like this game you press Alt and it gives you access to the mouse. Otherwise, it seems like you aim your character around like in other action RPGs. So we're going to click on inventory, equip our robes, talk to this grill. We seem like a bunch of students at this martial arts place. Game looks pretty fucking good looking at a glance. Damn! You can jump so high in this game. Look at that height. Oh, feels good, man. Feels so good. Another cinematic. I've put all the voices in Japanese because it gave me the choice between Korean, Chinese, or Japanese, so gonna be a weebo. The texture quality on these rocks isn't very good. The fuck's that, dude? Maybe it's because this game's still in beta, but fucking hell, that's ugly. In general, the graphics are pretty nice, but some of the textures are pretty fucking dirty. Double jump. Glide. Hype. That's a nice feature. You can just glide through the air because fuck physics. The movement feels really good. It's got motion blur. I'm guessing these little things on the door is like phasing and instancing. Fight me 1v1. Fuck, let's go explore. Let's just leave the questing area. I wonder if we can get over to this bridge by gliding. See what happens. Run, jump it! No! Invisible barrier. So typical action combat style. You left click to do your standard attack, and right click does a powerful attack. You look up here, it seems as though we've got something called focus. I'm guessing these are like combo points in WoW. So use the right click and that uses up focus. So that's obviously a more powerful attack. Fight these. Block. Nice. This game has decent block mechanics. Boom. Level 2. I can forgive some of the bad textures because for some reason this just looks absolutely gorgeous. 90 frames per second here right now on max settings. Kill some training dummies. Let's go. The combat feels very, very smooth. Very nice indeed. Dude, you're level 35. I'm gonna fucking stab him in the butt. That motherfucker just one-hit me. So we get out an anvil and we need to repair our sword near campfires. That's interesting. Haven't seen that before in an MMO. Boom, level 3. Fucking love the little level up alert. Makes me feel like I've done good. Well, this has took a turn for the worst. Oh, the dead animals. What the fuck? Plenty of cinematics so far. She's another one of the students. She's just been killed. Brutal. Awesome cinematics so far. Oh my god, the feels, dude. This game couldn't have had more of a feels start if it tried. So straight away, within half an hour of playing this game, I'm already caring about the story because of how the cinematic intro kind of worked. Really cool way of storytelling. They've done that very well. Okay, so we've gone from getting 60 frames per second to getting 15. This area does not seem to be very well optimized at all. Frame rate is fucking potato on this beach. Okay, so there is a fast travel feature in this game. That's pretty cool. Is the frame rate really just gonna stay this fucking bad? Typical anime grill. Cringe. Grill wants me, boys. I'm assuming these are like optional quests, the ones that appear in blue. Oh wow, this is a good looking area. And now the frame rate's just doubled. Definitely happy with my choice of being a Blade Master. Seems to be a very fast-paced class. Okay, it seems as though it takes quite some time for the NPCs and things to load in. Not overly impressed with this game's optimization yet. So you can expand your inventory space using in-game things that you get, which is cool. There it is. This game's heavily instanced, but not in a really annoying way where you have to go for a load screen all the time. It's not Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn's level of instanced. I don't understand why the frame rate in this area is so fucking bad though, because it's such a small instanced area. Random invisible barrier. Okay. Oh, okay. We need to go down here. Spooky abandoned well. That's pretty cool. You can pick things up and throw them at enemies. So I've picked up this lantern. I'm going to lob it at this guy. With the combat, it doesn't seem like your sword cleaves everything down like in Black Desert. It feels like it is mostly single target damage. Oh wow, I've got a bomb. Quickly, throw it, dude. I wonder if I can jump and then use my rush ability. Rush, that is cool. My character's such a bitch. Always having to carry things around. The fuck, dude. Any populated area with lots of NPCs and players, the game just lags incredibly badly. Really annoying. It's starting to irritate me quite a lot. Little events where everyone has to chip in to kill it. I like that. Nice. That's a cheerful thing to do. I'm going to kill you and then I'm just going to cremate you. 1 minute you're alive and kicking, the next you're burning in a fire. Rip. So the only pieces of gear I've got so far is chest and weapon. Hopefully I can get something else soon. Pretty much all of these quests are voice acted, which is nice. Very nice addition. Hopefully when it's ported over to the West, they'll all be voice acted in English. So I can charge into this guy, knock him down, stomp him on the floor, and then cleave this motherfucker up. Feels good. The combat's nice. I feel excited every time I get a new ability. Something that is a nice change in this MMO compared to other MMOs I've been trying is you don't level up ridiculously fast. Not sure what the level cap is. Hopefully I can ask someone in the game. Feels as though if I was to pull this whole area, there would be a very real chance of me dying. And that's something I didn't feel like when playing Black Desert, which is the obvious game to compare this to. I wonder if you get mounts in this game. I'm not sure if there's any real need for it because of how fast you run. Questing is clearly the fastest way to level up in this game. You don't get a tremendous amount of XP just for mob grinding. I feel like the thing that makes the combat in this game so satisfying is how it really matters where you aim your character. Every time you actually hit an enemy, you feel as though you've done it because you aimed your character at it. Your character doesn't just randomly swing in a certain direction and hit the enemies. Don't think there's an AoE loot feature, from what I can tell. Pulling 4 enemies at a time does feel like a decent amount of challenge. Fucking hell! This chick's doing some deeps. Randomly as you're questing, this chick will turn up with a classed quest and she'll basically teach you about combos and tell you how to play your character. Every anime game ever, females do not wear it. Why do you have... The fuck, dude? This person has summoned an anime cat. I'm guessing you're a summoner? This person could not be more anime if they tried. I'm gonna repair my sword. What's in this little hut? Anything? No, why has it gone all blurry? General Merchant, I've got some stuff to sell to you, babe. I can imagine this game definitely gets more fun in terms of combat as it goes on, and it's already pretty fun from what I've experienced so far. Oh, I see, tab is just my standard AoE. And I can just spam this one. Why did I not realise this doesn't have a cooldown? Nice, that's a 5 set piece now, increased evasion by 2. So these are like set bonuses, these little soul shields. Seems to be quite a lot of these little solo dungeon type things where you need to just fight your way in. They're easy enough, but it's a nice feature anyway. So far I feel like the single player aspect of this game holds up pretty nicely. Let's see if we can pull this entire room. 5 people and a boss. Can we do it? Will I die? Probably fucking gonna die. We have to be smart, we're gonna kite. We'll cleave them all down. See, when taking on a lot of enemies like this, it feels as though you really need to play smart. Not looking too good for me right now. Let's cleave her down. Let's stomp on her. Do this. Can we run away? We'll take a potion right now. Stab. We did it. My bags are starting to fill up pretty fucking quickly. The questing has been pretty linear so far. I think it's just the frame rate that potatoes out whenever you're in a populated area. When you're in normal questing places, it seems to be fine. It goes down from about 60 frames per second to 20 or sometimes 15. Epic weapon, assassin only. Fucking great. Finally, now I get some new armor. Fucking hype. So if I press this button from long range and do that, it just throws a ninja star and then rushes them. Nice. Oh my god, some of the textures on his clothing are really bad. How am I supposed to teabag someone if there's no crouch button? There we go. Get bagged. Arigato. The guy with the biggest axe, always the boss. Level 20? This guy's gonna be tough. Yeah, the grills have come to save the day. Anime grills hype. You could easily enough just play the game without the UI. Level 11. I have no idea if this game's pay to win or not. It is a free to play game at the moment. No idea. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's all cosmetic. But I'll probably have to do a little bit of research about this before the end of the video. I'm going to save these people. I'm not sure if it does anything if I save them. These people are randomly going to kill these people's pigs. Fuck these guys. I just saved your lives and all of your pigs, and I get a thanks. Not even a few silver. Well, fuck you then. I feel as though there really is a lot of graphical inconsistency in this game. Some zones the textures are alright, and other zones they look really out of place. If you used to look at my character standing next to this wall, it just doesn't look very nice. It looks pretty dirty. Look at that fucking texture. And then look at my person. It just looks very inconsistent, and I'm not a huge fan of the textures in this game at all. Random zombie ninjas. Brilliant. That's just what we need. Surprise, motherfucker. Follow me and use the flamethrower. Yeah! Let's do this. Flamethrower, boys. Look at the texture on these whales, dude. I love it when these little fun quests pop up like this one. Kill 50 of these crabs with a fucking shotgun. No scope! I don't really like how I'm getting taught to play my class by a midget with bunny ears. So, boot, this one, then E. So a lot of people actually compare the combat system in this game to be very similar to Black Desert. I don't, however, feel as though that's the case. I feel like they're both two very different combat systems just because of how they fundamentally work. In this game, you really need to think about what abilities you do next to deal with certain attacks and counter your enemies. In Black Desert, it's more button bashing, which I quite enjoy. It's really fast-paced and fun, but it's kind of pointless to compare it because they're so vastly different. Death caps. The only other game I've seen these things in is Final Fantasy. Okay, wow. This is a good-looking area. Look at those sun rays coming through the trees. Delicious. Stop putting spiders in games. No one likes spiders. If I could teabag this spider, I would do it. I want to see if I can make it through this video without dying once. That's the dream. The Blade and Soul Iron Man Challenge. 0 deaths. Okay, let's pull everything. Everything in this whole fucking area. This could have been a bad idea, and I think my 0 deaths dream could be over right now. Please no. Mum. Mum! Please! Running, running, running. No! Literally fucking 2 minutes after I said, oh, we're going to try and get through this game without dying, pull everything in the world, die, rip. Thanks, bro. I was just trying to res. So it seems as though the only gear that has stats on it so far, up to level 14 anyway, has just been the weapon. I think clothes, hats, sunglasses, all of that stuff is just purely cosmetic from what I can tell. Even my robes don't have stats on it. Just the weapon. I guess that's how they mainly make their money in this game then, because there's so many cosmetic things. I haven't got anything other than robes from just playing it normally. So I guess that's how they make the money, just cosmetics with hats, all of that stuff. All of these kind of caves that you need to go into, they do look pretty much exactly the same. Every single quest hub, every single village, potato frame rate. It's quite annoying. And it makes it so you don't really want to hang around these areas too long. Now, as we walk further away from the town, the frame rate improves. And now we're at 50 frames per second. What is this inconsistency with the frame rate? It boggles me. This is an absolutely gorgeous zone though. Look at that. Very nice looking area. Oh baby, you've got such a nice personality. Those are the most ridiculous boobs I think I've seen in any fucking game ever. That is just ridiculous. Well, this is awkward. It seems as though you just go from zone to zone and it doesn't really feel very open world, just extremely linear. Loading screen! Loading screen! Loading screen! Everyone loves a loading screen! We did it, boys and girls. We've found ourselves a home. It may not be much, but I think it's cozy. It's a nice little humble abode, out of the way of predators. I do love the jumping in this game though. This has the best jumping of all the MMOs. Jumpy! I'm a scorpion, I'm just gonna stay in the cave all day long being ugly as folk. The reason this is so fucking hard to do is because the ads just spawn infinitely. Okay, so this thing here was an actual dungeon. If I go up to this dragon shrine, it will help me find a group. What the fuck, dude? Why are you fighting me, you fucking douche nozzle? Fuck you, mother... Fucking fuck! What an absolute dick! He's literally resurrecting me and farming me. People with different outfits on seem to have the ability to attack each other depending on the outfit that you're wearing. That's possibly why that guy could just come up to me and gank me. Boom, level 15, we did it. Her boobs are ridiculous. Okay. Whoa. Now that's cool. Damn, dude. Because fuck gravity and fuck physics. This is some kind of Dragon Ball Z shit here. Is that a male or a female? I really can't tell. I'm starting to get really bored of the questing now. I just want to try some dungeons and stuff. It's got really repetitive all of a sudden. I actually get a ring. Something that isn't clothes or a weapon. God, look how fucking bad their hair looks. This is one thing that's been annoying me, is the NPC and character's hair. It looks fucking terrible. There we go, now we can queue for some dungeons, see if it's any good. Although I swear I've already done these ones. This dungeon finder system is surely the worst dungeon finder I've seen in any MMO to date. You literally can't play the game and queue for a dungeon at the same time. You have to go into this lobby and there's no real reason why. You just sit here and AFK, there's no estimated timer of how long it's going to take. This is probably why I'm not finding anyone to group with. Same thing when I tried to queue for the dungeon earlier. I had to go to the stone. If I walked away from the stone, it would unqueue me. You basically have to do nothing. You can't do things at the same time whilst looking for dungeons. Why? Who the fuck wants to sit in a lobby for God knows how long waiting for players that may or may not turn up for a group? The whole point of an MMO is for it to be massively multiplayer. You're exploring a vast world, carrying on with progression whilst you're doing other things, grouping with people. The fact that they've made it so hard and tedious to group with other players really kind of takes away from the multiplayer aspect of what an MMO is supposed to be. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to show you what the dungeons are like. It just queues for about 5 or 6 minutes, then it says the search is timed out, please queue again. So rest in pepperonis, we can't do that. Enter the arena lobby. Let's go. I think I want to do 3v3 because I know I'm going to get wrecked 1v1. Maybe we'll do 1v1 after. Okay, so no one does 3v3. Let's try 1v1. Thank you! We've got a duel! Fuck yes! Can actually do something. The Octagon Arena 1v1. Fuck! Fucking hell, I'm doing so bad. Okay. Is that it? Is that it? Is that the PvP? It's more like fucking Tekken than MMO PvP. Fucking hell, dude. Not sure what class she is. She's clearly got more abilities than I have. So after a bit of further research, it turns out Blade and Soul is based on a Japanese anime called Blade and Soul. So something I haven't mentioned about Blade and Soul is that it doesn't rely on the holy trinity, such as tank, healer, DPS, like most MMOs. Everyone deals damage and you're responsible for healing yourself with potions, and most of the mechanics are just dodge mechanics and things you need to avoid. So that's how the PvE really works in this game. Obviously, the upside to not having the Holy Trinity is it's a lot easier to get groups together. The downside to not having the Holy Trinity is that some people really enjoy playing tanks and healers, and if that's you, then this really isn't the game for you, because you have no other choice but to just be a standard damage dealer like everyone else. Okay, so if I stand here and I click search for 6-player party, if I run over here, it stops searching. So I can't do the optional quests whilst waiting for a party. How fucking stupid. Okay guys, I feel like I've played Blade and Soul enough now to have a decent enough first impressions of the game. So as always, first we're going to talk about the pros, the good things, and then the cons, the bad things. Starting with the pros. Right off the bat, the game has really good character customization that allows you to really fine-tune your character and make it feel as though you're making something unique. I found the intro to the game, the prologue, really compelling, and for a short amount of time I was really invested into the characters, and it gave me a real feels moment. It was a great introduction to the game. All of the quests are voice acted. I was obviously playing the Russian version, which had Japanese voice acting, but I'm sure when it comes over to the West it'll have all English voice acting, which is always nice in an MMO. More voice acting is always a good thing and helps you stay immersed and keep track of the story. Over the 6 or 7 hours that I've played Blade and Soul, as a free player, I haven't felt too restricted, and it hasn't felt as though the game's been trying to shove microtransactions down my throat, which is nice. The game has a decent enough UI, it doesn't really take anything away from the game, and it offers a nice amount of customization. The combat system is definitely the main selling point of Blade and Soul, and if there's anything you're going to fall in love with in this game, it's the combat system. It's really fucking nice, it's different, it's innovative, and it makes you feel really skilled. I'm always on my toes whenever I go into a dungeon. I pull 6 mobs. There's a good chance I'm going to die if I don't use my blocks properly, dodge, and use CC correctly. So combat system, really nice. The side quests in Blade and Soul feel really optional, and if you want, you can just blaze through the main storyline. Blade and Soul does a really good job in teaching you how to play your class and mastering different combos whilst leveling up. This has been a really nice feature, and it's actually taught me things that I haven't been able to work out by myself. So good job there. I did a little bit of research into the PvE endgame of Blade and Soul, and from what I've seen and read, it seems like there's a wealth of PvE content for small groups if you can find the players. Due to the way boss mechanics work, you can solo or even duo some dungeons intended for 6 players, due to the lack of the Holy Trinity and the fact that you need to dodge things, use your combos properly, and basically take as little damage as possible, and the way every class can kind of heal themselves with potions. Which is quite nice. It makes the player feel really skilled if they manage to do something like that. So now we're going to talk about the cons. Some of the textures in Blade and Soul look really fucking bad, and I'm pretty sure it's a game that's not going to age well. There's times where the environment and scenery looks pretty nice, but I'm sure most of that's down to the shadows, lighting effects, and the bloom. Caves look especially hideous. The group finder for PvP and dungeons in this game is absolutely fucking atrocious. By far the worst group finder I've seen in any MMO to date. It's so bad to the point where you can't actually go out and progress in the world, you can't do quests whilst queuing. No. You have to exit the game, go into this lobby, select the dungeons or PvP that you want to join, and then it will queue you, but there's no estimated wait time, so you have no idea how long you're going to be waiting for. After 5 minutes, it dequeues you. So you have to do it all over again. It's so bad to the point where I'd say Blade and Soul doesn't even feel like an MMORPG. It's more like an online role-playing game, and they've totally forgot about the massively multiplayer aspect of it. It's so inconvenient to queue with groups, so fucking bad. The leveling up feels extremely linear due to the singular main storyline, and I would be extremely hesitant in even thinking about leveling an ult. The questing in this game gets boring very quickly, even with the fun combat system. It's very much kill and collect. And although there are a few fun quests like shooting crabs with a shotgun and flamethrowing things, those quests aren't common enough to really make me enjoy the questing. Blade and Soul is a heavily instanced MMO, it's not very open world and you don't really feel too compelled to explore. If you go into a different zone, there's this random portal and it kind of lags the game once you go through it, and it kind of breaks immersion. I feel as though the instancing in this game only adds to the amount of linearity that you feel when leveling up. The game really doesn't feel like it's been optimized too well. Sure, it's still in beta in Russia, but the game came out quite a few years ago in the East. So I would have thought this would have been something that they cleared up. Sometimes I'll get 120 frames per second or 90 frames per second. Go to any questing hub, it drops down to fucking 20. It's just not good enough, and it really started to annoy me as I was playing the game. There's no windowed borderless mode yet. It's just a small thing, but I always play my games in windowed borderless. It would have been a nice option. There's not that much large-scale PvE content. There's a few open world bosses for 24 players, but there's not many, and that's pretty much it. Overall, Blade & Soul has some good things and it has some bad things. By far the best aspect of the game is the combat system, and I'd recommend maybe checking the game out just to have a look at that, because I feel as though it's by far one of the most innovative combat systems I've seen so far in an action RPG. Although I really like the combat system of this game, for me on a personal level, the cons are pretty substantial and have put me off from playing the game any further. So I'm sorry, it's kind of negative, it's kind of 50-50, the game's good in some ways and bad in others, but that's just me being honest. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you've played Blade & Soul or are hyped to play it in the future, then leave a comment below. And the next video should be The Secret World, and before you ask, yes, I will branch out into other genres, maybe FPS, maybe MOBAs. I love survival games at the moment too. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, you take it easy, and I'll see you again really soon. The fact that you can have slutty Japanese maids as housekeepers, good player housing, good combat system, decent graphics, amazing character customization, this is what I want.